So Tashi, good afternoon and welcome to meditation. This is the uh, session number 8. So welcome, sisters. Yeah. So today we are going to learn about gratitude meditation. So the gratitude meditation is one of the very important topics actually. In Buddhist practice, there is no particular meditation called gratitude meditation. So it's mixed together with breathing meditation and then also anapanasati and also vedana Vipassana, like what we taught in the 7th class, which is looking at your feelings. So last week we learned, not the last week, the week before that we learned how to observe the feelings, how it rises, what to do. So today we will do something less heavy, something more, uh, how to say, purposeful. Yeah, very that anybody can do. Okay, so it's going to be the meditation on gratitude. So okay. So before we start, so we will do we'll pay some respect to all our teachers. Yeah. So today is a meditation on gratitude. So it is a must in Dharma practice that we remember the kindness of our teachers, whether they are alive or they have passed on, they have passed into nirvana. So we bring into mind the teachers that have touched our hearts, that have enriched our minds, nurtured our minds, and given us a lot of knowledge and developed our wisdom. So, to such teachers, we bow in respect, and we especially recall to mind the historical Buddha, Buddha Shakyamuni, without whose kindness we would not be able to have any of these teachings with us today. And we are most fortunate to have a precious human rebirth. If we are not born human, we won't be able to understand the teachings. When we cannot understand the teachings, we cannot put them into practice. If we cannot put them into practice, we cannot gain realizations. If we cannot gain realizations, we cannot become liberated. So this precious human rebirth is very, very important. And also not forgetting the kindness of our parents, without whom we would not have been able to live beyond our infancy, our childhood. We would not have been able to see through our schooling days, or without whom we will just simply not be alive today. So today, the title, the topic for the day is the power of gratitude, the path to mindful living. So because gratitude is very powerful, and for those of us who cultivate gratitude in our daily lives, we are developing an inner power that is extremely, extremely beneficial for our practice. Because having gratitude is also one of the foundations for realizations. So we will first take refuge and then generate bodhicitta, and then after that we will start the Dhamma practice. So I will chant in Tibetan the uh, words of refuge, and also I wanted to wish first all friends who are celebrating Losa Dashidele, my friends from Tibet, Bhutan, Himalayan region. Happy New Year. Okay. Sangye Choedron Suke Chonam La Janju Bardo Dani Chapsuji Dagi Jinso Gipe Senam Ki Drola Venture Sangye Dro Barisho Sangye Choedron Suke Chonam La Janju Bardo Dani Chapsuji Dagi Jinso Gipe Senam Ki Drola Venture Sangye Dro Barisho Sangye Choedron Suke Chonam La Janju Bardo Dagni Chapsuji Dagi Jinso Gipe Senam Ki Drola Venture Sangye Dro Parasho. Until the heart of enlightenment is reached, I and all my kind mother sentient beings, as vast as the skies, go for refuge to the Gurus, go for refuge to the Buddhas, go for refuge to the Dharma, Go for refuge to the Arya Sangha from the merits accrued by practicing generosity, morality, patience, effort, meditation, and wisdom. May I become a fully enlightened being of Buddha to benefit numberless sentient beings. Semchen thamche devadan deve jodan devare jeje dunga dan dungenge jodan devare jeje dunge me pe devadan pada me devare jeje nyeren chadan nidan davi tanyo shenpola ne pare jureji. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and from creating those causes of suffering. May all beings never be separated from the bliss of the true nature of mind. May all beings be equanimous, free from the extremes of attachment and aversion. Semchen namki sampata lo ye jida jida wo je chung tu mo te pa ye chue ki ko lo ko tu so. I humbly request Buddhas and all enlightened beings to turn the wheel of the Dharma for the sake of all sentient beings. So, with this wonderful, beautiful motivation that we're going to meditate today for the benefit of all sentient beings, so you can now get into meditation posture. So, first and foremost, I would like to thank you once again for coming for this meditation session. So, as we say, only those who have the karmic connection with a particular topic, with a particular teacher, with a particular place, yeah, particular time, then you can get the teachings. Otherwise, it's not easy to get Dharma teachings, yeah. And therefore, today I'm going to guide you through this guided meditation for you to understand how precious your human body is, how precious the Dharma teachings are, your teachers, your parents. So it is very, very important. So now, the benefit of the meditation of gratitude. In Pali, we call it kataññu-katavedī. So it's actually from the Kataññu Sutta. And the Buddha said that you should and you must practice gratitude. Yeah, so nowadays, in today's world, we see sometimes people complaining, sometimes ourselves also we feel that there is lack of gratitude in daily life, So there is a lot of taking for granted. There's a lot of, ingratitude that we feel that people are not reciprocating, or people are taking and not giving back. And if they take and they cannot give back, also at least don't harm. So if you can't help others, at least don't harm others, like the Dalai Lama says. So all these things are manifesting in this world today. So, and that is a result of not being able to understand the benefit and the power of gratitude. Gratitude is very, very important. So the Buddha thought about a few gratitudes. The Buddha said that the power of virtue, sila, yeah, is very important. So what is the meaning of power? It's not we want to control other people, not that kind of power, but a power that springs on within and it's naturally powerful on its own. For example, if you keep your precepts, if you keep your promise, for example, if you're a person who keeps your promise, if you make a promise to someone and then you keep it, so then that has power. Why that has power? Because next time that person knows, Moon keeps her promise. Yeah. So Moon keeps her promise means I trust her, and trust is a very, very important quality in a person, and once broken can never be replaced. So therefore the power of telling the truth, the power of virtue, the power of basically keeping your word. Yeah, you keep your word, then you see that there's a power, because then you attract people to you. You try the opposite and see whether you don't keep your word. You promise something but you don't deliver, and then people will say that this one cannot be trusted, cannot be relied upon. It's like completely irresponsible, say one thing, does another thing, and because of that your words lack power. But your words have a lot of power when you act upon it, and then you say, I'm going to deliver on such and such a day at such and such a time, and if you are unable to, you will tell them the reason, And then you will say that, give me another couple of days, but I will get back to you, and you do it, right? And that's where there is a power. So that's how it's powerful, right? You can see because of its effects. So that if you are able to keep that, whatever you say has so much power, so much value, right? In the same way, virtue also, you keep all the five precepts. You keep the precept of non-killing, that means don't kill. So then that act itself has a lot of power. It generates not only a lot of merits, but there's a lot of power. When you are in danger, that power within you will come to save you through, its vibrations. Other people will come, other sentient beings will come, the devas will come and help you, the Buddhas will help you because of that power. And you don't steal. When you don't steal, then, for example, if you are not the type that likes to take other people's things, which we shouldn't anyway, and we don't take anything more, not less. Or you want to give, you give, but you don't take. You give more, but you must take only what is necessary, that is given to you, and nothing else. And if you can keep that, the power of your virtue is so strong that the universe will give it back to you in some way. It's like that. And then if you don't harm your bodies, and don't harm other people's bodies, for example, through lust, sexual misconduct, and all. So then you have a certain power, right? So everything is Dharma. So Dharma practice has a lot of power. So all these small little things that we think are very small, each practice in itself has power. So that is the kind of power I'm talking about. So then people will look at, Sister Angelina and say, wow, she's a lot of power because she's very kind. She doesn't take anything that doesn't belong to her, and is complete exact opposite, extremely generous like that. So then people respect, and that power generates respect, generates trust. So you see the cause and effect. So that is the reason why we have got to keep our precepts. And gratitude also is one of those things that we need to really, really practice, because gratitude in itself has a lot of power. Wisdom has power. So the Buddha actually spoke about three major things: sila, bala, which bala is actually power, bal. In Hindi we call it bal in Punjabi. So sila is virtue. So we have the power of virtue that I mentioned just now, the power of wisdom. When you develop your wisdom, no one can cheat you. And then you somehow or other understand the way things work. That itself is already a great power. You're empowered. You know the word empowerment? Why they use the word empowerment? Like women, women's empowerment, children's empowerment, something like that. Because we want to equip somebody with the ability to be able to handle things where as they arise. So when we are every day in our Dharma practice empowering ourselves, and through our practice we become stronger and stronger, more and more powerful, not to harm others, but in order to be able to overcome life's challenges and help someone along the line. That is the meaning of power. And then we have five spiritual powers, panchabala. So all those different powers that we have, I won't go through them in great detail, but the power of gratitude is what we want to talk about today. So the strength of gratitude is a skillful means. Yeah. So many people think that I follow five precepts, it's okay. I don't kill, I don't steal, I don't have sexual misconduct, I don't lie, I don't drink alcohol, but I'm ungrateful. That won't work. Yeah. So there is everything must resonate. One, there has to be. If it doesn't feel right in your heart now that you should be grateful to someone, but you're not, chances are your intuition is correct. Okay. So strength of gratitude is a skillful mental quality, right? And then it's actually really important, because if you look at if you have gratitude, the gratitude melts your heart. It melts your heart, and that is exactly what we want. Because in Dharma practice, if your heart is hard as stone, nothing goes inside. If your head is like a stone inside here, nothing actually penetrates through. So and then you don't have when you have love in your heart, does your heart feel like a stone, or heart melts, isn't it? Yeah. Not necessarily we have to cry, but basically your heart melts, isn't it? Yeah. So when somebody is grateful to you, for example, and you don't even remember also, you remember the story of the lawyer. a Malay lawyer who helped that Indian boy, the pencil box story, where his mother was caught stealing from a mini market. And then this Malay lawyer saw the lady being sentenced to prison, and the small boy, only about 7 or 8 years old only. And then he knew that, he saw some kind of innocence in her. Then he went to ask her, what happened, auntie? Then she said, no, I wanted to buy this pencil box because my son he scored A in UPS, also many A's. I promised him, if I don't keep my promise next time, there's nothing to motivate my son to, to study, right? So then, he went to the school to verify, is it true that the boy got this many A's and all? And so happened that he was the star of his school. He was a very intelligent boy, and exactly the mother's story is correct. So then after that, he met the mother. Then after that, he talked to the judge and said, this is the first time offender. Somehow or other, she managed to be released. And then he told her, better don't steal again, But she said, I only stole because I have no money to reward my child. And then she said, now she knows that it is not a good idea. So anyway, many years passed by. Then one day in the courtroom, this one young man came, and then they were having discussions, I think, in the corridor of the court. Then this young man came, sir, are you this so and so? Then he said, yes, I'm lawyer so and so. Then he said, I would like to express my profound gratitude to you. Then he said, why? Who are you? He said, you remember the pencil box, auntie? I'm her son. Then he looked at, well, you're in the lawyer's robe, Roy. Then he said, yes, sir. I'm so inspired by you that I became a lawyer. And he said, without you, sir, I wouldn't be a lawyer today. So I'm extremely grateful to you. Tissue. So we've got a lot of tears now in the. So that is the gratitude. So can you, from my story just now, can you see how powerful gratitude is?
Yes.
Right? And gratitude, you cannot remember, but after so many years, someone comes and tells you that it's through the power of your kindness that day, and that is gratitude. So gratitude in their heart propel them to success. So gratitude in your heart will propel you to success in your Dharma practice, success to come out of this suffering of samsara. So it's very, very important, right? So because it has the capacity to transform your heart and your mind. And also when you have gratitude, slowly, you can get very deep realizations. So if you want to know how, later you can, I will answer the question, okay? So gratitude is also very effective in countering this unwholesome states of mind like greed and discontent. So if you're a person like to take, never grateful, then the greed will become more and more. So if you know how to be grateful and then return the favor or something like that, then the greed will reduce. Otherwise, if no gratitude, the greed can just go endlessly, infinitely, because there is nothing for you to ground yourself. So gratitude is something to ground you, to curb your greed. So this is so potent, so powerful, this gratitude. So the Buddha, I want to tell you one story before we go into this. So the from the Kataññu Sutta. Sutta is actually the sayings of the Buddha, the sutras. Yeah. So the Buddha actually said like this. Yeah. He said, uh, let me just find it. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. I need to find the benefits of meditation. Are you all having some difficulty in your? Okay, yeah.
Okay. That side, higher. Oh, then you see here. That side is higher.
Mm. So the Buddha, I can't find the sutta at the moment, but anyway, but I got another story. So the Buddha was brought up by his stepmother, Mahaprajapati Gautami. And the stepmother is actually his aunt, because his mother passed away when he was 7 days old, right? So the Buddha told that it's actually in the Anguttara Nikaya, he declared that it's impossible to repay two people. One is father, and the other one is mother. First is mother, the other one is father, right? So he actually remembered, yeah, how he emphasized how Mahaprajapati Gautami nursed him after his mother's death, fed him with her own milk, and cared for him as her own child. So now we will say that, if some children, if it's not your own biological parent, you will say it's not my mother. But the Buddha said, no, it's my mother, because she cared for me. There are a lot. I know some children, if not a biological parent, their love for the mother is not the same, even though she has done everything, sometimes even more than what a biological mother would do also. So that's why it's not a significant story. Is when, but the Buddha's father actually used to stop him from going out of the palace. He didn't like him to become a monk. He used to stop him from his spiritual practice, etc. But still, the Buddha, when he got enlightened, what he did was he came back to the father and taught him the Dharma. So father passed away in a better state, with a higher, what they call it, realization state. And then also the tree. Don't go very far. So after Buddha attained enlightenment, he actually told the first teaching that Buddha actually gave us is not through the mouth, it's actually through his actions. What the Buddha did was he first and foremost, the first 7 days after enlightenment, first 7 days he was enjoying the bliss of enlightenment. After that, the Buddha stood up and stared at the Bodhi tree. For 7 days, he gazed at the Bodhi tree without moving. You know the Bodhi tree?
I know.
Ah,
Yeah,
so
also
this is a very,
second
so he stared at the Bodhi tree in gratitude. Mm, mm. Without the Bodhi tree providing him the shelter, rain and shine and all, he may not have attained enlightenment. So the Buddha, it's just a tree. We think, tree lah, house lah, and all. It's just a house, it's just a tree, but it was. Buddha made the Bodhi tree especially special and extraordinary for us now, because that is the tree, like a mother caring for her own child when the child was struggling for enlightenment. So 7 days he looked at the tree, day and night he gazed. That is gratitude. When you listen to it also, you feel that, wow, 7 days, 7 nights, you stare at a tree. I don't know anybody who has done like this before in the world. I've never heard of it. If there's somebody, please let me know. But I know for sure that it is the historical Buddha that stared at the Bodhi tree. And what is the point of that? So you see, people will say that the first teaching of Buddhism is the Four Noble Truths, the turning of the wheel at Sarnath, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, right? Meaning that, the Four Noble Truths of suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and then the path that brings us out of suffering, the Noble Eightfold Path. And some people will say it is the middle way. So if you look at gratitude, yeah, I would say that the first teaching that the Buddha gave us is the teaching of gratitude. And that is how powerful it is. No matter what we say, doesn't mean that the teaching must come through the mouth. The teaching can come through the actions also. So sometimes we say actions speak louder than words, right? And I think that it's so apt that we really emulate the Buddha's, uh, you know, example, right? So we say, when you teach the children, don't do what you say, tell them to do. Children do what you do, right? So we are like the children of the Buddha. So, so when our parents, they say, don't do this, we will do the opposite. Do that, do this, do that, do your chores. No. But if the child sees the parent doing the chores, the child will come and, oh, okay, something like that. So if the parent does it, then the child will follow. So our parent is the Buddha, our father, right? And mother also, in a way. So if the Buddha stared at the tree, I'm not telling to stare at the tree. Don't take me literally, but the lesson from it is to be grateful to even the tiniest, And this one, of course, was a gigantic tree, but the fact that it wasn't human, neither was it an animal. It didn't have a conscience, but yet The Buddha looked at it, gratitude. So that's why the tree has so much significance for us today. Because the Buddha was so grateful to it, so that's why we go and pay homage to the tree. The Mahabodhi is a very important tree. It's not the same tree, but it is the grandchild of the tree that replanted again, because the original tree was cut down, right? Yeah. So there's another. Sorry.
Not only cut down, I think uprooted and taken away.
Uprooted and taken away. Some people say Emperor Ashoka's wife jealous because he was, paying more attention to the Dharma than her. So she said, Dharma, 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 I'm sick of it, so I might as well cut down the tree. Then there'll be no Dharma, something like that.
Some say that it's the Japanese, they took, they
Mm.
paid so huge sum to the Indian government, they uprooted and took the original to Japan.
Yeah.
So, but
they use the seed from the same tree.
It's from back from Anuradhapura.
Went to Sri Lanka and
Yeah.
from there, bring King Ashoka's son and daughter to. And they brought
Mhm.
back.
So
from
there's
that.
so many
as-
things
as-
to learn, yeah.
when
So
Dr. Kami said it is the grandchild of that same tree.
So that's why now, when you come to meditation session, also got a lot of value added stuff, not just meditate only, yeah. So come. So you're welcome. So there's another story. So after the Buddha, before the Buddha taught us the Four Noble Truths, there's another example of gratitude. And that example is after staring at the Bodhi tree and then, the 7 weeks of post enlightenment. So then the Buddha decided, that he will go and teach his two teachers, Alara Kalama, Alar Kalam, and Udraka Ramaputta. So Alara Kalama taught the Buddha the jhana until the fourth stage, first, second, third, fourth jhana, meditative absorption states. And then Udraka Ramaputta, he taught from the fifth to the eighth. So then he was looking in when he was doing his meditation, he was seeing, where are my teachers now? Then he said, I must teach them, because they were so kind to me. So I must find them. Then he saw in his meditation, oh no, Udraka Ramaputta passed away quite some time back. Then he said, but maybe the other teacher are still alive. So when he looked at it, oh no, he just passed away like very short while before the enlightenment. That was he was very sad in a way that he could not repay because if his teachers, they won't be able to meet him as a Buddha because they are already born in Brahmaloka. Sorry, it's a very high. The realm is called a realm of neither perception nor non-perception, where there is no body. It's a formless realm, where your mind is there sitting in the absorption state or the eighth absorption state, and then enjoying that state. But after some time, you still have to come back to samsara because you are in samsara. That state also is still in samsara. It's not nirvana. So the Buddha said, if only I can teach vipassana to my teacher will become an arahant. But that was not to be. But regardless of whether that was to be or not to be, the intention is there. The intention to benefit his teacher, to repay the kindness. So you see, before the first two acts is to benefit others. Then only he thought about his five companions. That also out of gratitude. He said, they were following me. They placed so much trust in me, faith in me. I shall go to them. Otherwise, why would he want to bother? Why would the Buddha want to bother? Going all the way, how many 100 kilometers? I think about 100 over, I think maybe. From Bodh Gaya to Sarnath walk some.
He also
Yeah.
abandoned him.
Correct. So it's like, and then they abandoned him. Somehow they didn't trust him, but yet he felt so much compassion, and he had gratitude in his heart. And when you have gratitude in your heart, regardless of how the person has treated you before, even if that person has given you one drop of water when you were dying of thirst also, and later on whacked you out of shape, you still have to respect and have gratitude for that person. That is gratitude. So then so Buddha's gratitude is unconditional. It's not that, oh, my friends left me, I don't care lah, I'm not going to teach them. No. So he went and he taught them. And then they became arahants. So now you tell me, what's the first teaching in Buddhism? Yeah. So that is to me, I think gratitude is one of the highest teachings, if not the single highest one. Because the gratitude to the teachers opens the door to our liberation. Ingratitude closes the door to liberation towards our teachers. Yeah?
More gratitude why the world is not
Exactly.
chaos.
So the world is in chaos because we lack gratitude. So,
Just take, don't
so,
give.
so if we have gratitude, we can have gratitude to the nature. We have no gratitude to nature. That's why we are treating nature like this, right? We are exploiting nature. We never repay. We never repay nature's kindness. Do you know that nature never asks anything from us? Nature is such a provider that never expects anything in return. We are the only ones who, when we give, we want something back in return. And guess what? Nature gives, and then we take, and then we cut, and then we are like the ungrateful ones, that the hand that the people that bite the hand that feeds them like a dog, that beings we are. Unfortunately, I mean, many may not agree with me, but just look at how the way we treat the environment. The leaves are giving us, the trees are giving us. What we do first instant, we cut, we plunder, we blast, we use dynamites, we urinate on them, all sorts of things we do. We dirty the water, you know, and then we uproot all the trees, kill the animals and all. None, they all give. Nature is there to give. So that's why nature is balanced. We are here to take. That's why we are not balanced. So if you really look at the teaching of the Buddha, in my meditation series, I emphasize on balance, the yin and the yang, the black and the white, balance. Yeah, balance. So nature is balance. Is in a state of balance. No less, no more. So we also have to be in a state of balance. Why are we imbalanced? We are imbalanced because of greed. We want more, more, more. And then also when we don't get, we don't like, so we push. Don't like, don't like, don't like. So that's why we are not in a state of balance. So we overtake also, then if we take more than necessary, we fall down the scale. If we are too angry, also we go to the extreme. So nature is in a state of balance. You don't see nature, screaming for more, more. Or nature say, I don't want to give you food. I don't like you, Angeline. I only give moon. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know why I don't want to give you. No, isn't it? Nature will give you the fruit regardless, right? Whether you treat her well, you don't treat her well, still give you the food because nature is like this. We are the ones very conditional. Parents also, we treat our parents well if they give us the property. If not, we don't care like that. I mean, if they give us everything, also we still don't care. So human beings are very chronic type of people. I mean, like strange. So now you understand the importance of showing gratitude. Yeah. So now shall we do pranayama? Hmm. Yes. Now I found the sutta. So the sutra in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, "I declare, monks, that for two people one can never repay them." It is Anguttara Nikaya 2.32, 2.32. He said, "Which two? Father and mother. Even if one should carry one's mother on one's shoulder and one's father on the other shoulder for 100 years, even then one could not repay them." So then, how did the Buddha repay the kindness of his parents? The Buddha said the only way that you can repay the kindness of the parents is to teach them the Dharma. That is the only way, right? So, yeah. And then there's another one also. There's the Buddha's life story. Do you remember his charioteer, the one who rode his horse, the white horse Kantaka? The charioteer's name was Channa. Some pronounce it as Channa, but actually it's the real way of pronouncing it is Channa. So Channa was his former charioteer, who was a little bit arrogant, because I am the Buddha's, got some little bit extra lah. So but still but he was a little bit arrogant. The monks also didn't like him at all, don't want to teach him anything. So the Buddha made sure that before the Buddha passed away, he gave extensive teachings to Channa as a gratitude to his friend and his companion because they were both of the same age. Can you imagine how true example? Yeah. So now, from the Tibetan perspective, yeah. So if you really look at it, uh, if you are practicing uh, Tibetan Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism has this bodhicitta practice. That means we practice for the benefit of all living beings. Why? Why do we need to practice for all living beings?
We are all interdependent.
That's one thing. That is very good. We are all interdependent, so that's why we have to practice for all living beings. Because if one is unhappy, then the balance is off. So we must make sure that we are all balanced. So one, if we have more, we can balance the less. Correct? And if you have more compassion, then you show more to those who have less. So then you bring everybody up, and everybody is a state of balance. And once you're balanced, only then you can progress. Correct? And there's also another reason. In Tibetan Buddhism, it is said that all sentient beings have been our father, mother, brother, sister in this lifetime. And there's a sutta also of the story of what is that called? Let me just very quickly whip it up here. So it is the Sutra of the Kind Mother. This is Mother Nature. So usually we use a mother kind of what is that called? Metaphor, a simile of the mother, right? So this one is a sutra from the Mahayana Sutra called the Sutra of the Kind Mother. So what is it that it emphasizes gratitude to all beings? Because it says that in this sutra that every living being has been our mother in a past life. So it teaches us that every being has shown us maternal kindness at some point in time. So you must be thinking, how that means there's so many living beings, so all the creatures, the cockroach, the billions of ants. One day itself you see about 1,000 ants. You don't tell me all these 1,000 ants are my mother in the past. How can? Sure not. Like that people will ask, isn't it? You see, the Buddha said in another teaching that the number of bones that we have, the number of bones that we have from the times that we have lived before, it even is higher than Mount Meru also. And the number of tears that we have cried in our entire time in samsara is more than the 7 great oceans. So that is a way of showing us how long we have been here and how many trillions and zillions and gazillions lives that we have lived. So why is it not possible for other living beings to have been our mother? And that means I could have been your mother, you could have been my mother. That also multiple times, and not just one time. So now you understand why it's very important to practice for the benefit of other beings, because they have been our mothers in the past. And if we don't have the gratitude, if I were to become liberated today, right, then what about my mothers? How can I leave them in the samsara? So let's say for your own mother, I mean, if we have gratitude now, if our mother is sick, or let's say if we want to migrate somewhere, we're going to just leave our mother alone, nobody else. Our mother is only alone in back in the home country, and then we migrate. You're going to take, if you have the means to take, are you going to take the mother or not? Surely take, right? If you don't have the means to take, what do you do? You will make some kind of an arrangement, but you will never leave your mother. You will try to visit as often as possible until such a time you have the means to bring the mother, like visa or something like that. Correct? In the same way, we as practitioners, we cannot leave our mother sentient beings behind. That's why we include them in our Dharma practice, because every single living being has been our mother, and our mother has given us breast milk. And even if we are in the bird form also, let's say for example, no breast milk also, but still the bird mother cared for us. Most of the time mother will sacrifice her life for her child. you know and in that sutra also they will say that the mother, the filial piety sutra, there's one Mahayana sutra say that the mother, when the child VV on the bed, the mother will sleep on the side where the VV is, and then the dry side the mother will put the child. That is how mothers are. And I'm sure you all are, some of you are mothers. I'm not. Yeah. Yes, yes.
It's done for now. I got asked this question. What if a child, I mean a mother or a parent, abandon the child? Then they say, isn't it right that I don't care about this mother or this father? So because like real life story, the kid will say that because we abandoned, then say example the kid forgave the parents. But what about the grandchild? The grandchild knew about the story, right? Present time, this era,
So they will
the
start
kids
asking
will
questions
say,
also.
no,
What is
no,
the
no.
what is the use of
They will
the
say no, don't care about like They have not.
So some
Care for
people, they have issues with their biological parents, but they were brought up by somebody else, I'm sure,
Yeah.
right?
So they will
So
say,
so
why this?
so,
this
so
one,
still there is somebody who brought you up, right?
they will say, the kids nowadays, they will say, okay, this not the real mother brought up, so you can be kind to this one, but not the one that abandoned you. Yeah. So how do you teach this kid to
So
understand?
the thing is just that number one, first you've got to identify who is the one that took care of you, right? And then make sure that you don't lose gratitude for for the one that adopted you, right? Okay, that's very important, right? And then at some point in time, you must understand that why that mother abandoned. There may be a very good reason. It could have been the mother was, something happened to her, sexually exploited. Mother was too young, and then the family pressure, so many things. So sometimes what you see is not what you get. So we are very good at judging very quickly. We like to judge very quickly without understanding the personal circumstances of that person. Many years later, and you think the mother will, very, very rare mothers would, say that I want to kill my child. Unless they are psychotic, that also is in a very altered state of mind where they don't really know on drugs or something like that. But they will definitely have remorse because no mother would ever want to harm their children. It is a natural instinct to care. And even the pet people who have pets also know. Usually, pet parents also, anything happen, we don't even give birth to the child, but the pet is sick also. The care is there. The maternal instinct comes.
Maybe
So
in
it's
the
not
past
related.
life, the animal got relationship.
Exactly. So this sutra of what they call that, the kind mother says that this relationship is with every living being. So the cat was our mother, the dog was our mother before, the enemy was the mother, everybody is the mother. So who is unkind to us? So out of gratitude, even if this life they are showing, you know, they are showing, how to say, they're being unkind to us, we ourselves must step back and think who they were in the past.
So in the text also, the mother is not actually categorized only as the birth giving mother. Mother is categorized in three different. So the mother that gives the birth, the caring mother we call it. Then the one is called soul mother, means the one who brings up and brings the child out, takes care, and then the other one is pendope mother, means the one who is benefiting us. They're not really taking care from the birth, like the mother, the giver, but those who are benefiting in some way also is considered mother. So the mother is categorized in three different ways according to the Buddha's teachings.
But it's just that I do not know how to explain to the grandchildren. That means the mother still took good care of the mother who abandoned them, but the grandchild is not happy. The mother is grateful to both parents, both mother, but they say no, don't care about the birth mother because they're
That's
still
why you
not
have to-
grateful.
that's
Because
why
they
you-
find that the birth mother is still not
That's why
grateful
you have
for
to tell
all
them.
the things that the child's mother did for the because the child sees that knows that grandma, this birth grandma never took care of my mother. My mother still take care of her, but the grandma is still not birth grandma
Then
still
you
not
can-
grateful.
Like for example, if you tell that child that if the grandmother has not given birth to your mother, where will you come
Yeah.
from?
I did,
So
I
that
did,
is
yeah,
the
I did say
connection.
this, but to them it's not good enough.
Never mind. They must first learn the Dharma.
Sometimes
So when they don't know the Dharma, then they have a right to ask the question. Because everybody must know the circumstances. But at the same time, they must also accord the same right to others not to be judged without the correct information being relayed to the child. So that if we just assume, we don't, without understanding the circumstances surrounding that, it will be very difficult. So okay. So now we do pranayama. So now we've understood the stories related to gratitude, right? And then also we understand the benefits of gratitude meditation. So now we do pranayama. It's normal that we must start every time using pranayama. Okay. So now for those of you who are new, okay. So breathing in, We block our left nostril, so breathing in, you're aware that you're breathing in, and then we block our right nostril with the our right nostril with the left ring finger. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So the idea is to alternate your nostril. Yeah, breathing in one side, you breathe in, and then another side, you breathe out like this. So breathing in, aware that I'm breathing in, and you block. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in. So you do for 3 rounds. So one round means like this. Just observe, huh? I tell you when the 1 round stops. That's 1 round. 2 rounds. 3 rounds. Got it? So one more time.
From the nostril, close this.
So it's like this. So you close this and you breathe in, and then you take this ring finger, breathe out, and then after that, that one again you breathe in lah. That second, that transition, one side you breathe out, then again you breathe in. Then breathe out. That is one. Okay, then again. Then that is 2. That is 3. Okay, so now while you're doing it on your own, so I want you to notice something. Breathing in, you must tell yourself, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in, and put a smile on your face, and feel the breath going into through the nostrils into your lungs, and ending up at your stomach. And then breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So your job is just to note the breathing in and breathing out at your nostril. Right? Try again. Breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing in. So feel the breath going through the nostril into your lungs and your stomach. Breathing out. I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In. Out. In. Out. Okay. Got it? So, if your mind has wandered to the past, or gone to the future, or going anywhere else, don't know where, so gently bring your mind back to the breath. So, let's try one more time. So, naturally, your mind cannot 100% focus at that point all the time. Surely it will go off somewhere, right? So, now no need to follow, no need to go and do control, right? No need to do anything, just leave it alone. You yourself bring the mind back to the breath. So no need to follow the thoughts of pain. If there's any pain, no need to pay attention to the pain or pay attention to the past or the future. So don't get caught up in the story of your mind. So the moment you realize it, gently bring your mind back to your breath. Okay, shall we do one more time? Pranayama. So block your left nostril, breathing in through your right. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So notice where your mind is, whether it's in the past or future, like, dislike. If it has wandered off, gently bring your mind back to your breath. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. Breathing in and out using your natural rhythm, yeah? Don't follow mine. You have your own rhythm. So breathing in, tell yourself, don't tell me. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. And then breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Don't focus on the fingers. Focus on your breath going in and out, in and out. So please reset and do it one more time on your own. So, how do you feel? Is there a change? Do you feel some changes in your mind, your body? Is there any
Relax.
change? God, you feel it?
Relax.
There's a change, right?
Mm.
Do you feel it? Not
Yeah.
because I'm asking you and you must give me the correct answer. If you don't
Yeah.
feel, you don't feel. But if you feel, you feel. Right? Okay?
Relax.
Relax, huh? Okay. So now, the second part of the pranayama. Pranayama means, pran means life force energy. Yama means to control. Right? So you're using your, is actually, pran means chi, life force energy, in your language, right? Chi. So we are restoring the chi, the balance. So everything is about balance. So off balance usually when you drive lah, talk lah, you know, with many laugh and many all, you just can go off balance. So now you're bringing it back to balance again. Okay. So the second balancing act is take your right hand. So you're like acrobats now, balancing on the this one. What is that called? The rope. Okay. So right hand over left hand like this, and then your two thumbs join together. Breathing in, tell yourself breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So what is your job? What should you do? Your job, your work is only one thing. You do only one thing. Only observe the breath going in and out at the nostril like a jaga, like a watchman. Going in, going out, going in, going out. That's your job. Nothing else. Your job is not to follow the past, not to run after the future, not to grab at what you like, and not to push away what you don't like. Okay, so breathing in, you put a smile on your face, your back straight, shoulders relaxed. Put a smile, just relax and come back and enjoy your breath. The idea is to enjoy, yeah? Just relax, enjoy this natural space. Okay, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So once more, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So if your mind has wandered to the past or slowly running to the future, landed somewhere in a different land, going to something that you like or something that you don't like, once you realize it, gently bring your mind back to your breath. It will run away many, many times like a monkey. So your job is to use the rope of pranayama, lasso the monkey mind, and bring it back. And then we give it the banana of focusing on the breath. So that is the toy we give the monkey. And what is the monkey's toy? The banana. And what is the banana? Our mindfulness. That means remember, yeah, don't forget. The banana is the mindfulness. Right? Give the child which is your mind is like a child. Don't be so hard on it. Just rest, relax, enjoy breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. Okay. Stay and do the meditation without my interfering, using the natural rhythm of your breath, and remembering that if it has wandered away, gently bring your mind back to your breath and focus on the nostril, watching the in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, without controlling, without anger, without judging, non-judgmental awareness. Just watch it and enjoy it. Okay, wonderful. So now we move on to the next one. We do the breath of fire. So the breath of fire is to exhale out 10 times all the bad stale energy. The our body got a lot of bad air on, you know. Yeah, so we need to take it out, right? By doing the breath of fire. So just observe me, and then after that you can do on your own. So the idea is like this. So breathing in, so we continue to be in dhyana mudra, which is the meditation posture. Our back straight, our shoulders a little bit behind, but in a very relaxed way. Smile on your face, relax, enjoy. Yeah, don't be too serious. So smile and breathing in. You tell yourself, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. So you breathe in now. Deep breath. Okay, just observe. Don't do first. Observe. Breathe in a very deep breath. Feel the breath going in and filling up your entire cavity here. And then you breathe out 10 short breaths. Breathe out through the stomach, the diaphragm. Push the air towards your stomach wall and then breathe out. Don't breathe, push your chest, yeah? Not breathe out from the chest. That's wrong. Breathe out from the stomach. So like this. Okay, try. Yeah. So your stomach will move. It's nice. It's good. So okay. Okay. The first when you breathe in, naturally the stomach will go in because when you fill up your lungs, obviously the stomach will go in. Naturally, right? You try and see, fill up, and see, fill up. Breathe, breathe. Naturally the stomach will go in. Then now you push it out. Can? Moon? Must be a little bit more forceful from the stomach. Until must see the stomach moving. And you also must move.
Must feel all the air until feel the stomach air.
Then
Yeah.
you
Use the stomach.
use the stomach and push.
Push.
Push out.
Yes.
Yeah. Go feel it.
You feel
Yes.
it. You feel it.
But
that
not here, not from here. So
Not from the chest.
stomach.
See. It's not here.
it's here. It's here. Near your navel here.
Your lower abdomen. Lower abdomen. Yep.
Can feel a bit weird. Sounds strange. Come, let's try again. It's quite fun actually.
Stomach.
Yeah. So
Use the
yeah,
stomach.
I hope you just didn't have a full cup of tea, then This one has to do
You're
with
doing
a semi-full stomach or empty.
Yes, because you're figuring in that. Yes.
So now you watch me, I'm breathing in. Naturally, I just fill up. Until then, after that, I stop my breath. I will stop my breath, and after that, I breathe out. Don't breathe again in. So your body will move, and you look straight. If you look down, you might get headache, so better don't. Okay. Yeah, correct. And then smile, enjoy.
I don't know whether I can get 10 times.
Later you can get 100.
Okay, why don't you do 5 first? Yeah? Give you a little bit easier task. Just do 5. And you don't have to follow my pace, You can do it very slowly
Or faster also.
or faster also. But yeah, the idea is to never lose the focus on your nostril. Keep focusing on your nostril. So if the stomach is moving, that means correct lah. Everything else moving.
Yeah, I know how already.
You know already.
Yes.
Okay, try. One more time. Let's all do together. I observe you. Okay. Keep trying. Very good. Yes. Progressing very well. Okay. So the idea is to take out the stale air and rebalance your chi. Right? So like Kung Fu master, must rebalance like that. Kung Fu, Shaolin. Yeah. So the mind is very sharp. Okay. In traditional, we do 108. So 5, 10 for beginners is okay. If you can do more, it's up to you. Yeah. When you feel like you want to do more, you do more. You don't feel like doing more, you do less. There's no hard and fast rule. The 10 is just a standard number for beginners. 5 also can. Okay. So now the last part is you do 3 out breaths. Okay. You breathe in and then you do 3 out breaths. Huh? I mean, I say like breathe in and out 3 times. Forceful. Okay. With sound effect. Just release. Release. Okay. So one more time. Do it. Breathe in and then you release. Okay. So we do the meditation now, yeah. So now, first before we do that, just very quick question. How do you feel after these exercises?
I feel like want to sleep, very relaxed.
Very
Like,
relaxed.
And
Yeah.
yawn.
here, like think nothing.
Yeah. So it's actually correct.
Relaxing.
Yeah. You know why? Because pranayama, when it balances your chi, right? The winds in your body. So the mental chatter also need it's riding on the winds of our body. So when you're rebalancing it, the mental chatter just naturally fades away. So then 50% of your chat, your thoughts already dissipated.
Yeah.
50% is gone. So now your mind is ready for meditation. Okay? You feel hot. Mm,
You feel hot, right? I feel here.
And then just
Mm.
you yawn.
yeah.
I yawn.
So actually, in a way, this breath of fire is meant to induce fire.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
actually
a
the
bit like
prerequisite
here,
also for
like-
Tumo practice.
like
Lila
burning.
Repa, how he stay in the cave,
Yeah.
and learn in the how he actually can, he used to wear just a cotton linen, in whichever caves that he meditated, very cold, right? So he used to, do more meditation. So in order to maintain his body heat. So
Sorry, I get it wrong. Inside the Asura cave is actually Guru Rinpoche.
Guru Rinpoche is Asura
Asura
cave.
is
Yeah, that's right. Milarepa one is Maratika, is it not? Yeah. Yeah. Not the Maratika is Guru Rinpoche. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Yeah? I can't remember which caves. Yeah. Yeah. So you can ask your
I think
artificial
before
intelligence
sleep
friend.
also very
Yeah.
good content, right? Before sleep.
Mm.
So that can
So
sleep.
this particular pranayama you
Very
must
nice,
do
calm.
5 minutes in the morning every morning before you go out. Your mind will be very sharp. You're very focused at work. And in work, when you're very tired already, sleepy afternoon, cannot continue, do pranayama. And then at night before sleeping to get a good dream, in order to cut. Actually, this pranayama is to cut the past and the future, whatever that you're doing, like you wake up in the morning, in order for you to set your mind to go to work, you cut the dreamy state, the sleepy state, cut, right? And then when you are going to sleep, you cut the days.
Pranayama is the first one.
Just this.
This one.
So it's like this,
Then the breathing out 10 times.
and then this one is the second one,
The stomach. One.
and then the breath of fire,
Oh, just 3 times enough.
10 kali, 10 times.
No, she means 3 rounds.
Wait, breath of
3
fire. Oh, 3 rounds.
3
ah.
rounds.
It's entirely up to you. Okay, so this question I get it, and then of course the last one is you do like this.
But if
So
you
the
still-
purpose, the thing is just that you do until your tiredness goes away. So many people, including myself, when we are very tired, we do pranayama so that then our bodies can come into a state of balance. Otherwise, we are always chasing deadlines, and then we get very stressed inside here. So pranayama helps us to distress, come back to the present moment, right? Reduce our conceptual thoughts, disconnect from the previous activity, right? And disconnect from negative emotions. Very strong, very angry means then it will cut the connection to the previous one. Then your mind will come back to a balanced state. So it's actually a first aid. Pranayama, I call it a first aid for meditators. So you do the first aid, yeah. So meditation.
I feel so relaxed.
Don't worry, we got video recording
This
for
one
you.
is from
You watch the
no, this
video
one
recording.
first from
Yeah.
both nostrils, because when we are doing this we have one nostril in, one nostril out.
This hand
Because
also.
after when both hand here, no, do I'm just showing it this so that you can see if I do blocking. In, out,
In,
in,
then
out.
out.
This 3 round. And when you're hitting this, it's both nostril in, out, 3 round. Then after that, first the fire breath, breathe in
The
long
stomach.
one and then 10 times out.
Then
That also you can do.
breath of fire.
Breath
Yes. Then the third one is
relaxing.
relax.
Three times.
Then
So 4 step action. 4 step.
Okay,
Thank you. Understand.
you're most welcome. So now we can do the meditation on gratitude, yeah? Okay.
wow, it's amazing. No, I feel very
Yeah. It is meant
very clear.
and it will
My brain,
increase
like
your
awake.
increase your
Mind
clarity,
clear,
Yeah,
clarity.
reduce the stress, increase your clarity, increase your concentration, your
that's how I
memory.
feel now.
Your memory will be increased, so you become very sharp and very, very powerful from
How
inside.
I feel it.
Yeah.
And then I feel
Really calm.
yeah.
The body relaxed.
So we
I also
continue,
feel
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, come.
Okay. So now we are going to do the detailed meditation, guided meditation on gratitude. So now sit in the Dhyana Mudra again. Okay. So we have already done the preliminary practices. So now we have got to, in Buddhism, we have, the Buddha taught us to have gratitude for your precious human rebirth, to your teachers, to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and to your parents. Okay, so first it's good to acknowledge our precious human rebirth. So reflect on your ability to encounter the teachings. There's so many living beings in this world who cannot get the teachings. You are in this body, and this body you can understand, right? You can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you have the five senses intact, your mind. So you are not born in the hell realm, you're not born in the hungry ghost realm, you're not born in an animal realm, you're not born as a asura, which is a demigod, not born as a deva, because all these are also samsaric states. You're born in the precious human rebirth, which even the devas actually covered, they want, but cannot get. Very difficult to get. So the Buddha said that, like the precious human rebirth is very difficult to find, but easily, you know, perishes. Therefore, we have got to really, really reflect on the preciousness of this human rebirth. So, how to do that? So, feel gratitude, yeah, to your body. So, maybe take some time to do that. Feel some gratitude to the body. So, when you are sitting down, sit down with the in the dhyana mudra or any hand posture that you are comfortable. So while maintaining the breathing and breathing out awareness, so you bring attention to your body. So first you feel the gift of your breath. You're alive, yeah? You're breathing in and you're breathing out. So for that we have to feel gratitude. So the Buddha felt gratitude for the tree. This is your own body that has been with you since you were born, your breath. So look at it, you know. Without it you won't be here. Without the breath you will be gone. Me too. Yeah, so you feel the gift of the breath and how it sustains us from moment to moment. But we never bother about the breath. We have forgotten the breath. We have never in the whole life, very few times we can count with our fingers the number of times we actually go back to the breath. And we never have gratitude towards our body. We do our hair, you know, we bathe, we adorn ourselves with beautiful clothes, etc., perfume, etc. But very seldom do we actually say thank you to the body. So today we are going to say thank you. So now notice how the body functions without our control. So you see the amazing how your heart is beating. Can you feel? You take your hand, your right hand, and you put on your chest, right? And then you feel the heartbeat. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it wonderful? If your heart is not beating, then you will not be alive, isn't it? So be so receptive that you can actually feel the heartbeat and feel gratitude towards it. Feel gratitude towards the heart. And then the heart is beating on its own. You're breathing on your own. Without asking the body to breathe, the body is breathing. Without asking the heart to pump blood, the heart is pumping. So can you imagine that a lot of things, without asking the stomach to digest, is digesting, everything is working in a beautiful harmony in your body. So it's amazing, amazing human body. We must have so much of gratitude towards it, without which we will not be functional at all. So let gratitude arise naturally for this precious human rebirth, this birth that we have, this body. You can feel the lungs breathing, you can feel the heart beating. So if the mind wanders, from, the past or the future. So you gently return to your breath with kindness. Don't force it, don't be upset. Return, yeah? So now, so you expand your awareness now to include the conditions that support you and your body. Because without depending on others, we cannot survive even 1 second. Others, that means the external conditions. So now let's see. So before we can go into the very detail, we go to the simple one, the floor or the cushion that we are sitting on. It's supporting our buttocks. The air that we breathe, feel the cushion. And then you look at your eyes. From your mind's eye, you can see, you can smell, you can hear the sound of the fan, my voice. Isn't it amazing? If you cannot hear, then you cannot get Dharma teachings, isn't it? Very difficult. If you cannot see, you cannot read the sutras. You cannot take instructions on which dhyana and all. You won't know which posture. So you can taste your food. During COVID that time, cannot taste the food, isn't it? We felt miserable. So now be grateful for being the ability to taste the food which we take for granted every day. Okay? So with each breath, we must acknowledge all these things with gratitude and expand it a little bit more. So the roof is providing us shelter, the clothes providing us what? Yeah, covering us, yeah, from cold and hot. The water that we drink, the air that we breathe, the sunshine. Yeah, we must be very grateful. We can move, we can feel, we can type, our hands can grasp. We have hands, we have feet. We worry about our shoes until we see somebody who has no feet, yeah, then we realize that, my goodness, no, we are so worried about the shoes. Some people don't even have feet, legs. So we have to be very grateful for the perfect human body that we have. A little bit of imperfection doesn't mean it's not a precious human body. Right? So now, stay mindful. If you have any pleasant sensations like your heart is starting to feel warm, just be mindful, yeah, of the changes taking place in your mind and your body. Because when you're grateful, just try to note what sensations arise. Yeah, what kinds of feelings arise when you're grateful, okay? Because slowly from your body, we will go into the next. So now we go to the next one. After the body, we are grateful to our human body. Everything is working like clockwork. No need to ask it to do anything. It will do on its own. It's not a lazy stuff. You ask to do and never do work. Without asking, the body is doing work. Can you imagine how kind the body is? And it never asks anything back in return for us. It's just doing, serving us day and night. The cells are replenishing themselves. The heart is beating, you know. The stomach is digesting. The eyes are seeing. Everything is working perfectly like clockwork. So for this, generate immense gratitude. And to the parents that gave you this body. Regardless of whether your parents took care of you or not, the very fact that you got this body is through the kindness of your parents. And therefore, I'm answering your question just now. That if the parents give you the body and then dump you, but you still have something to be grateful for. The 9 months in the mother's womb. And then also the fact that you got this precious human rebirth, because the Buddha said it's very difficult to find the precious human rebirth. It's like a blind turtle, okay, appearing once every 100 years onto the surface of the sea. It lives in the sea, at the bottom of the sea. Once every 100 years, it appears, it goes up, pops its head out, and then it goes into some sort of like a net, like a yolk, And so that is like a very low probability. Some of the turtle is blind. How will it be able to put its head into a net? And where is the net going to come from? So all these conditions and all indicate that the rarity of us getting this precious human rebirth. And we have lived before in many forms. And the hardest to get is the human rebirth. And very easy to be destroyed. Death can come very easily, and the fact that we are alive today, one extra day, one extra moment, is something to be really grateful for. And then feel the chemical changes happening in the body when you're grateful. There are some changes going on in the mind, and when the mind changes the body, you can feel some changes going on. And then it affects one affects the other. You can feel, if you really feel gratitude, you can feel your body changing. Okay, next you go to relationships. Yeah. So bring to mind while keeping your awareness on your breath. Yeah, even though you're being grateful, but don't forget to focus on the breath. Bring to mind those who have taught you the Dharma. Even if they have taught you one letter, one word, they are still very kind. They are your teachers. What more if they teach you the path to liberation? If your kindergarten teachers taught you how to read A, B, C, right? And we have to feel grateful for our teachers. Without them teaching us ABC, we will not be able to read and write today, something which we need in our daily life. All those teachers recall to mind, all those kind teachers, as far back as your kindergarten days, your nursery days. And remember them with great gratitude, deep, immense gratitude. Remember their kindness. You can argue that they were working and they were only getting paid. That's not the point. There are many people who get paid but they don't serve properly. The very fact that you learned something means they did a good job. And your school teachers, college, university teachers, teachers everywhere, each and every one, we are a culmination of all our teachers. The very fact we think that we are one entity, only me, my success is only mine. No. The degree that we hold in our hands is a culmination of the efforts of all our teachers before us who have taught us. Every single one. The degree is not ours. So therefore we cannot be proud of our achievements, because it's not only the teachers but also the teaching, the helpers, the cleaners, everyone along the line, those who give us food, those who grow our food, and the conditions and the people and the non-living things that came about, the sun, the soil, all this water, and then it comes up as our food. Immense gratitude to the whole universe for giving us our food, our sustenance. So still in the subject of those who taught you the Dharma, the teachers, especially if you are grateful to your university teachers, lecturers, school teachers, you should be even more grateful to those who have taught you the Dharma. Not only you, me. I must be grateful to those who taught me even one line of the Dharma. Because if not, how will I be able to understand the teachings of the Buddha? How will I be able to come out from samsara? If it is not through the kindness of my teachers, and it is said that our teachers, our immediate gurus, are far more kinder than the Buddha. Because the Buddha is not here today. The Buddha's teachings are here and passed on generation to generation, and the teachers that are in front of you today, whoever that you have met in this life who have taught you the Dharma, they are kinder than the Buddha because they are here. The Buddha isn't. And they are actively teaching. And the Buddha cannot because the Buddha has already attained parinirvana, mahaparinirvana. So feel gratitude for the guidance of all your teachers, especially the Dharma teachers. Every single one of them, you bring them to mind. For without them, we will not know anything about the Dharma. And that includes lay teachers, male, female, lay teachers, monk teachers, teachers from any spiritual tradition. Those who have taught us how to live our life in accordance with the Dharma. So then remember your parents, family and friends who support your practice. So you must notice how the gratitude feels like in the body, right? Is it your heart is warm? If you have any emotion arising, so observe. So you can recall to mind how the Buddha was grateful to the tree, the Bodhi tree. So how you are grateful to your teachers, who in your life you are very grateful for. Recount those times when you were very much in trouble, and then somebody came to save you just in the nick of time. When you were sick, when you had no money, when you were just starting out, your friends in university, or the kind neighbor next door, or your good friend, or you lent you money when you had nothing. Or cared for you when you were sick, or just stood by you in through thick and thin. So all these we need to feel deep gratitude. So if your mind wanders, gently return to the breath. And if you're feeling sleepy, you must visualize something bright in your mind, or you can do the pranayama again on your own, or you could pull your earlobes, you could wriggle your fingers like this, or drink water, or change your position, something like that, yeah? Or just watch your sleep. Just watch it, watch the sleep. What is this sleep? And then it will disappear. Yeah? So this is the ones who taught us the Dharma. So remember their patient guidance and contemplate, yeah, on how their teachings benefit us daily. So we have taken the teachings. We are clever now. Also, we think we are, right? But if how did we become clever? How do we know many things about the Dharma? Who is the one who imparted the knowledge to us? So think back to all those teachers, the number of hours they spent teaching us, the number of times they advise us, their teaching stories, the way they act, the way they walk, the way they talk. Everything is a teaching. Their books that they have written, the Dharma videos that you have watched, the empowerments that you have received, the studies that you have done many years, meditation instructions that you have received from numerous teachers. Each and every one of them is inside you today. You are here with that knowledge is because you are formed by the teachers. Without the teachers, we are nothing. Must remember that very clearly. And the second one is gratitude to our parents or our caregivers. So contemplate now that you have uh, received a lot of care since you were born, either from your biological parents or from a guardian or a grandparent, an adopted parent, or elder brother or sister, or somebody, a relative, whoever who has been kind to you, that is your parent. Who have raised you, that is your parent. And think of the mother who has given birth to you, the difficulty, the hardship of labor pain, carrying the child for 9 months, going through numerous obstacles to protect the baby, morning sickness, nausea, many health obstacles, uncomfortable, changing of the body shape, changing of emotions, changing of hormones, losing the figure. Then comes the day when the child is born, the intense labor pain and the intense number of hours the mother is in labor. If the child's birth is difficult, the mother is extreme distress and pain. And then the child comes up and the mother forgets her pain. And when she looks at her newborn child, all the pain disappears when she sees the child healthy, can cry, happy, and the mother forgets the pain. That is a mother. The mother eats and the child takes the nutrition from the body. The mother's body, the bones and everything lacking in nutrition, the mother will become weak with each childbirth for the sake of the children becoming strong. So once there was a sutra where there's a filial piety sutra where the Buddha said, "Do you know whose bones are these? The bones are not like a little bit not very white. Mm, it is said in the sutra that the men's bones are quite white, sturdy, very strong. So you can differentiate the bones of a woman and a man. A woman who has given birth, the bones of the woman was lying at the side of the road, and then the Buddha paid respect to it, and then Venerable Ananda asked, "Why are you paying respect to this bones, pile of bones? Whose is it?" It doesn't matter whose is it, but it belonged to a mother. And the mother, how do you know? He said, look at the bones. The bones lack nutrition, lack luster, you know, it's dark, it's like it has been like the nutrition has been absorbed and like sucked out, the life sucked out from the bones. So this is the bones of a mother. So with that, we must feel extreme gratitude that we as children sucked our mother's milk and we also took the nutritions from her body. It's her body that is inside us today. Her body is the one that nourishes us. So regardless of whether the mother has taken care of us or abandoned us at birth, but the mother's body, the nutrition, and then the malnourishment and the weak physique. After every childbirth, the mother does not become stronger and stronger. The mother becomes weaker and weaker. More and more pains and aches and pains. And then the father also works very hard for the family, takes care of the household. And modern fathers care for their children, change their diapers, have sleepless nights. Mothers have sleepless nights for the children. When the child is sick, parents rush the child to the hospital, pay for their education so much, send the children to school for tuition. They are like drivers all the time, from one to another, to another, to another, to another, only to see the children successful, then the children fly away, never to come back and visit their parents, never remember their kindness. never remember the sacrifices. One harsh word the parent says, the child gets offended and refuses to talk to the parents anymore. Well, that is quite sad. If you put things into perspective, the number of things that the parents have done for us. The Buddha said we can never repay their kindness, even if we carry either parent on the shoulders for 100 years, lugging them around. Still, the kindness cannot be paid. Kindness can only be paid by having gratitude and by caring for them, not after they die, but when they are still alive. A deep gratitude for them. Do not abandon them. Nowadays, children abandon their parents. We hear stories of parents being driven to God knows where and then just left at the garbage pile, left at the train station, left at the old folks' home, just abandoned in the hospital, quietly creep out, don't pay their hospital bills and just run. Is this gratitude? How will we feel if it happens to us? So the children say, isn't it? The children are watching. If we do this to our parents, our children will do this to us also because they are watching. So, regardless of whether our parents were strict, you know, whatever, they still cared for us. We would have died if we had not been taken care of our parents. So, therefore, the gratitude comes because no one will take care of us. When we are born, animals could have eaten us, we could have been abandoned, thrown away. But the parents still kept us, regardless, worked very hard. If they, if in order to give us food, they stay hungry if the house doesn't have any resources. But they will make sure their children get food. And then when they are old, we say goodbye, we're off to overseas, and we'll come and see you at your wake and deal with your funeral and your um, inheritance, which we are, you know, which should come to us. We are the legal heir. We are very quick to get inheritance, but very slow when it comes to helping our aged parents, treating them with kindness, helping them to navigate their old age, being patient with them when they scold us when they're old, when they treat us a little bit strange. We have been there to asking thousands of questions. We cannot hear they ask us again and again. And we have no patience, but when we were children, we asked them 1,000 questions and they still answered us, inspired us, nurtured us, but we have no patience for our parents, no money for them. Then they spend all their money on us and we can't take out 10% for them also. So so we must acknowledge their support and sacrifices. Yeah. So now we move on to the Buddha. So gratitude to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So we have gratitude to the Buddha. If the Buddha had not come, we will not have teachings that can bring us out of samsara. Because the knowledge there was at that time was only shamatha meditation, where you can just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. No vipassana at that time. No understanding of dependent origination. No understanding that ignorance is the root cause of samsara. No understanding of the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path. No understanding at all. And who is the one who came and sacrificed 6 years of his life, doing all sorts of penances, left, renounced the princely life, could have easily stayed in the palace, enjoyed with his wife and son Rahula. The whole family had to suffer for us. The son suffered with Rahula had to suffer because his father, Prince Siddhartha, left him when he was just a baby. Princess Yashodhara suffered because Prince Siddhartha left her to fend for the baby alone. Albeit there were so many servants, but nothing can replace the father. The parents devastated that their son left the palace. How much they sacrificed. 6 years for us, so that the Buddha can find a way out of death, to find the path of deathlessness. Meaning that if you don't want to die, don't be reborn. How not to be reborn? Then don't create the causes and conditions for suffering. If you create the causes and conditions for suffering through ignorance, which translates, manifests as greed and hatred, pushing, pulling, past, future, then we get tangled up and then we die. We are born again and again, then we die again and again because of ignorance. But the Buddha has said that you don't need to die because you don't need to be reborn again. How not to be reborn again? Uproot the ignorance. How? Through practicing shamatha and vipassana meditation. But at that time, the Buddha's time, no vipassana. So who is going to teach us? So the Buddha came and taught us, and the Buddha Dharma is not going to stay here forever. We are still in the time of the Buddha Dharma. So we must appreciate the fact that we can still get the teachings. We are not born in a place where we are forbidden from saying Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We are forbidden from listening to the teachings. We are forbidden from uttering a mantra. This has happened in countries like under USSR, Mongolia, and all, China also. So wherever communism spread its ideology, their religion was banned, whether Islam, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, all banned. So people could not get access to these teachings, cannot utter a mantra, cannot read a Buddhist text or any text whatsoever. No temples, no nothing. So at that time, you want to hear the word of the Buddha also is very difficult. And if you're born in a faraway country where the word of the Buddha you don't even know what is Buddha, let alone get access to the teachings. Suppose you get access to the teachings, you go somewhere, suddenly, from the sky, like a Coca-Cola bottle falls down on your head, you know. So if a Dharma text falls down on your head, and you don't know how to make sense of it, isn't it? Because you don't understand, there's no one to teach it to you. So you need to understand, even to have the Dharma needs somebody to teach you. So that's why Sangha is important. So the Buddha was here, the Buddha came, the Buddha has passed into parinirvana. I cannot come and teach us personally, even though blessings are always there. The Dharma is there. But if nobody knows how to teach you, nobody is practicing, there's no lineage from the time of the Buddha, you still cannot practice the Dharma. You will not be able to get the teachings and you cannot come up from samsara. And therefore, we'll be going round and round and round and round like hamsters, completely without any opportunity of becoming liberated from this cycle of birth, old age, sickness, and death. So that is very sad. So we have to thank the Buddha for showing the path, thank the Dharma for the teachings that lead to liberation. Because the Dharma leads to liberation. It doesn't lead us to the bar. Yeah? Or it doesn't lead us down the drain. It leads us to liberation. Liberation meaning that a state of everlasting peace and happiness. All the happiness that we have today is all temporary. And some even don't even have that temporary happiness. Most people are in a state of misery. Animals also. Hungry ghosts, hell beings, always in a state of misery. Asura, always in a state of misery. No one is actually truly happy, but the Buddha showed us the path to everlasting happiness. And that is the kind of happiness where it's not conditioned, it will not be stained by impermanence, it will not be taken away by others. It is in the realm of the mind, an absolute happiness that is free from negative emotions and the fixation to the false I. Yeah, so the Sangha has preserved and they continue to practice here. So there's very little gratitude for Sangha these days. So the Sangha, there's very little gratitude. There is hardly anyone pays respect to the Sangha because they don't understand what the Sangha represents. So Sangha represents the continuation of the lineage of teachers from the time of the Buddha until now who are qualified to teach and impart the Buddha's teachings to the to humanity. And they are the Sangha are the repository of knowledge, the Dharma. They are the embodiment of Dharma. Follow the Vinaya, following the rules and imparting the knowledge, the wisdom of the Buddha, the Dharma teachings, so that the Dharma teachings that are imparted open the door to liberation. So the Sangha are the key holders to the door of liberation, but no one pays respect nowadays. Very, very few people pay respect. Buddhists also don't pay respect to the Sangha. So Buddhists consider the Sangha as just ordinary. Sangha is not ordinary. Sangha has practice and Sangha has precepts, and therefore Sangha must be respected. Not because I'm a Sangha, but because it is the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha said the Sangha must be respected. So therefore we have the Tiratana Vandana, we have the Buddha Vandana, we have the Dhamma Vandana, we have the Sangha Vandana. And in there, the qualities of the Sangha, it is said that the Sangha, what is the Sangha? The Sangha, it is what? The Sangha is wise, upright, have dutiful conduct. Yes. So it's very important that we understand why the Sangha is here. The Sangha is not here. Don't be, I know, I've seen people see the Sangha straight away close the door, scared they will come and ask for something. Don't want to talk to the Sangha because scared they will ask for something. Actually, by right, in Buddhism, the Sangha, must be supported by the laity. That is how the laity shows gratitude. The Sangha gives the teachings, the laity provides the four requisites, and this is the teaching of the Buddha, not something I created. Not because I'm a Sangha, not because I'm teaching. It is the truth. The Buddha said Sangha should have the four requisites. What are the four requisites? Food, shelter, medicine, robes, right? And nowadays, it is very difficult for the Sangha to even get these four requisites because the value of the Sangha is diminishing because people think that the Sangha, they can get teachings from YouTube and all, so no need to do anything for the Sangha. And that is how Buddhism will die. The Buddhism will diminish when the Sangha is not being taken care of and the Sangha deteriorates, the numbers decline, and Buddhism will disappear. Because the Buddha said that when the Dhamma Vinaya, where there is the Dhamma Vinaya, there is the continuity of the Buddha Dhamma. So where there is no Vinaya, there can never be a proper propagation of the Dharma. So therefore, I also implore the Buddhist community, wherever you see a Sangha, please go out and care for the Sangha and express the gratitude to the Sangha not by lavishing the Sangha with gifts, but at least be mindful whether the Sangha has the four requisites or not. And if a Sangha is struggling anywhere, out of gratitude, then you will say, no, that Sangha didn't teach me, so why should I give? That is not true. Sangha, the Buddha, I must give you this one very important teaching that the Buddha gave his own mother. Mahaprajapati Gautami wanted to offer the robes to the Buddha only because he was a son. Then the Buddha said, no, offer to the Sangha. But she said, no, I want to offer to you, the Buddha. He said, no, offer to the Sangha. Why? Because offering to the Sangha is very meritorious, and it's offering to the Sangha because the Sangha, the Buddha is also a Sangha. Remember, the Buddha was not only a Buddha, the Buddha was also the Sangha. So whatever it is, you offer one Sangha, it's like you've offered to the entire Sangha. So it doesn't matter whether that Sangha has benefited you personally or not, has taught you personally or not. So if one generates ill will towards the Sangha by saying that I don't know this Sangha is correct or not, whether doing or not, that is not our prerogative. We must ensure that the Buddha Dhamma doesn't die. The Buddha Dhamma and Sangha lives on by gratitude. If we have no gratitude, the Buddha Dhamma will die. So that is very, very important that I believe that brothers and sisters must understand. So we have done this. So just one special meditation I want to talk to you about now. After this reflection on the kindness of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, your parents, your teachers, and your own body. So now, just another 2 minutes. So we have another 4 points. So we have to, why we actually meditate on kind mother sentient beings. At the beginning of this meditation, I said that, I and all my kind mother sentient beings, as vast as the skies, go for refuge to the gurus, go for refuge to the Buddhas, go for refuge to the Dharma, go for refuge to the Arya Sangha. What is it? It is number one, because we must recognize the kindness that we have received from all mother sentient beings. And once we recognize that all beings have been our mothers before, we must recognize the kindness that they have given. So the mothers have given us everything. That's how we can survive. And number two, because we have survived, yeah, parents have sacrificed, the mother has sacrificed the mother's milk, her life, and her time, her care. So we have to have genuine, second is must have genuine gratitude. And then the third, what we have to have a genuine wish to repay the kindness of the mother. And four, we must take action to benefit others. So that's why in Dharma practice, we always practice for the benefit of others. So you have to start each meditation by recalling the kindness of your teachers and how each and every sentient being has been your mother in a past life. Whether you know them or you don't know them, it doesn't matter, right? Your karma knows, yeah, and that's important. And consider how even difficult people are teaching you patience. So even those difficult people also, they have been your mothers in the past. And when they are difficult to you, they are angry with you, they you must also treat them in the 37 verses of a bodhisattva. They say that even if somebody were to slander you around the triple universe also, you must bow down in front of them with kindness, with gratitude, and accept this. Yeah. And wish them well, and if somebody slanders you, you sing their praises. You praise them, whatever good qualities, not something fabricated. You highlight their good qualities instead of focusing on the negative qualities. So even somebody cooks for you, cleans for you, the person is not your relative, the person, is nothing related to you. The very fact that somebody does something for you is a cause for gratitude. And if somebody does bad to you also is a cause for gratitude, because you can always find something positive in something negative, which is, if a person is unkind to you, they are actually teaching you patience, and therefore they are your teacher. And we know that we must express gratitude to our teachers. Therefore, the ill-mannered person, the ungrateful person, the you know, the very how to say negative person is our teacher, right? So in the morning, how to practice is like this. So you reflect on three things that you're grateful for. Yeah, what are you grateful for? So you must know. So, and then also during the day, you can notice if there are good times. Moment to moment, now you notice people being grateful to you. Can you do that? So we always notice people doing harm to us. This one no good, that one no good. The fault finding mind. The fault finding mind closes the door to liberation, whether you like it or you don't like it. It the moment you start finding fault, the door to liberation closes. So now what is the antidote? The antidote is gratitude. So the antidote is, so instead of fault finding, which closes the door to your liberation, you must see the good in other people. So whatever somebody does to you or for you has to be taken in the same way. But if very difficult, somebody does something not good to us, we can take them as our teachers, right? And if somebody does good to us, we must, be very grateful. And sometimes where a stranger comes and gives us, let's say 1 ringgit and say, okay, enjoy. Wow, we are so grateful. But our parents who have spent their entire life savings on us, we don't remember. We always are grateful to strangers rather than the people who are close to us. That is a fact, yeah. Somebody lent you something, wow, that person is so good, but your parents gave you your body. How come you don't acknowledge that amount of kindness, yeah? So we need to put things into perspective. So moment to moment you notice, yeah, how people are, the whole universe is benefiting you. The sun is shining, giving you, sustenance, water you're drinking, everything you can be grateful for. Moment to moment, the roti man, the person who cooks for you, the mama in the mama shop, the waiter, everybody, whoever who serves you in any way, how the food came to your table, yeah, every single thing, your workers, your classmates, your colleagues, lecturers, Every single moment can be a moment of gratitude. And if you can cultivate like this, it's also practicing mindfulness in a way. So this time, what are you mindful of? You're mindful of kindness. And therefore, you're gratitude. You are once you're mindful of somebody's kindness, then you practice gratitude immediately. Thank you, thank you. Say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Really, really. And when you're grateful to others, what is the effect? Your mind becomes very soft. Then when you're grateful to others, you don't harm others. Then you can save yourself from negative karma. Do you understand this? So it's really, really very, very important, right? So now I would like to, just give you one or two quotes before I end the meditation. So the meditation is very simple actually. First, your precious human body, you have gratitude. Then gratitude to the elements around you, your shelter, your food, etc. Then your relationships, whoever is with you, especially your parents. And then of course, to your teachers, the Dharma teachers, and then the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, right? And then also lastly to all kind mother sentient beings. And then if you want to go further, to the whole universe, the tangible, intangible, living, non-living, the bacteria in the earth, you know, the nitrogen, eating bacteria, so that they are the ones who bind the nitrogen so that you can get your food. So all these living beings, the whole world becomes closer to us through the practice of gratitude. No one is unfavorable. No one is disliked anymore. Through the practice of gratitude, everybody is family. And in the Indian tradition, we say Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That means the whole universe is our family. It is true. And how can you cultivate that? Only when you have gratitude. So that's why I say gratitude is power, yeah. So the Dalai Lama also says, when you practice gratitude, there is a sense of respect towards others, right? So anything can teach us, yeah, according to Ajahn Chah. Everything is teaching us, not just the teachers. So the leaves, lah, you know, the trees, the flowers, everything. If we just care to look carefully, every single thing is our teacher. So not necessarily you go and bow to the feet of your teachers where you go and cut down all the trees. Yeah, that's actually very silly. Yeah, right. Any questions before we end the session? We have 5 minutes for formal questions. Any questions? How did you find the practice of gratitude? Did something open inside? So the gratitude practice of gratitude actually is an antidote for hatred and greed, two in one. Because how is the antidote for greed? Because when you have gratitude, right? Yeah, just now I told you, when you have gratitude, then you will learn how to reciprocate and not take without limit, right? And then how is it an antidote for anger and hatred? Because the fault finding mind will be replaced by a gratitude mind, a mind that always looks at kindness of others. Even if the person is not kind also, you can still see some kindness in others because you want to open the door to your liberation. If you always see somebody's faults, you 100% the thing will close and you cannot progress. And then you ask to your teachers, you go to Rinpoche, why my Dharma practice I'm not progressing? If the teacher can see your mind, the teacher will say, because you fault finding mind, no gratitude. Right? So that's why it's very important. So in hardship especially, we lose the sense of gratitude. Yeah, when we have hardship, we say all the bad things happen to me. Then we don't have anything to be grateful for because we cannot see anything, because we are too caught up in our problems that nothing feels good anymore. We are very sick or no money and all, but still you can be grateful for the human body that you have. Still you can be grateful for the shelter that you have not lost. The money lost, but shelter still there, right? You can be still grateful, for the family that is still alive with you. You can still be grateful for the ability that you didn't become retarded, that you can still understand and listen to the Dharma, can still practice meditation. So there are 1,001 reasons, 1,000,001 more reasons for us to be grateful than for us to complain. So gratitude is an antidote to complaining also. So it's three now.
something?
Yes, of course.
My most powerful gratitude also taught me a very good lesson, which is I'm like always grateful. Kind, giving and everything, try to do whatever I can. But then again, the one powerful lesson that taught me is gratitude. To be grateful for people who are not good to you. Then, like, awakened me that, hey, you're giving too much, it's time to care for yourself. Self-love, this is what I gained.
Very good, yeah. Thank you for that. Is called wisdom. That is called
Self-love.
insight, yeah.
Yes.
So when
I learned
you're
about this.
observing, yeah, yourself, you observe your mind, you observe your experience, you reflect critical thinking, then you increase your wisdom. So that's
Yeah.
that's a wisdom
when
coming from direct experience. Correct or not?
When I start to love myself more, then I also will transform. I'll be more happier, more contented, more at peace.
That's the key. So you'll be more happier, contented, and maybe at peace. Can you imagine if you're all the time fault finding? Can you imagine what kind of a mind that would be? It's like eating poison but expecting somebody else to die, like that. It is, and then of course not mentioning the door to liberation will close, lah. Right. So that's why Shanti Deva this is from the way of the Bodhisattva. Yeah, Shanti Deva said that all the joy the world contains has come through wishing happiness for others. Yeah, it's very difficult to do. You always want happiness for yourself, right? And all the misery the world contains has come through wanting pleasure for oneself. So if you understand this, you will be grateful, and you'll be helping others. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche, just now back to the hardship, yeah. So my teacher Lama Zopa Rinpoche said, every hardship is actually a blessing. So if you look deeper, we can see how difficulties help us develop patience, compassion, wisdom. So sometimes we are too much into the samsara, the hardship comes, bang, and then suddenly we realize that we are so vulnerable. We are not that great as we think we are. It's just bringing us back to reality, grounding us in the reality of our own existence. So hardship is like that. So even to hardship also we can bow with gratitude. Yeah. And then Dogen Zenji, he said, to study Buddhism is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things. So here, to study the self means when you study how your mind reacts when you have gratitude, 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 you will see your destiny changing. If you say, my life, so many obstacles, that's because you are creating it through a fault-finding mind. You're creating it to the hatred, creating it to the greed. So when we have all those things, how can we progress in life? So naturally, without gratitude, we will regress. So for those of us who feel that we can just go stepping on other people's toes without actually caring for them and leading a very selfish existence, better think again. Because selfishness just closed the door to nirvana, but openness, selflessness, helping others opens the door to liberation. So you do the math lah. Which one you want? You want the door to open, the door to close. You want to stay here forever. Then be ungrateful. But if you want to progress in the Dharma practice, you really want, to come out from samsara, and you really want this world to be a peaceful place. The peace starts with gratitude. Like how the Buddha's journey, his teaching career started with gratitude. So recalling to mind just that scene, yeah, where the Buddha sat at the Bodhi tree, just recall to mind that and you dedicate the merits. How the Buddha sat at the Bodhi tree. So much gratitude. So we can be grateful to all living beings, not necessarily for those who can give us only. For those who cannot give us also, we can give gratitude to them. Because every living being has a role to play. So we are mean to beggars. We are mean to our workers. Because they cannot reciprocate and give us things, right? But we are very nice to big sponsors, very nice to rich people, datos, royalty, want to rub shoulders with this minister, that minister. Why? Because we want something from them. But what if they cannot reciprocate? Animals cannot reciprocate, so we kick them, harm them. Actually, no, every living being has a function, and if we understand what they are here, what their function is, and who they were in the past, we are all here in the web of life, and they have all been our kind mother sentient beings, and we owe each and every living being a mountain of gratitude, just like how the Buddha owed a mountain of gratitude to the Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree. His two teachers, Alarkalam and Budraga Ramaputra, and the five ascetics, his parents, and and even his Sangha, the Buddha, was always grateful. So with this, we dedicate the merits. Venerable, and I will chant here. So the positive potential that we have gathered today, we are not going to be selfish and keep it for ourselves. So out of gratitude for the teachings that we have received from the Buddha and all our masters, so today we share it. Let these vibrations go throughout the whole universe, the triple universe, to all the six realms. May these vibes of gratitude reach every living being, and by this act may we be able to repay the kindness of all our kind mother sentient beings. Sunam di thamche zepa ni top ni pe ranam panje ni Ganachi bala dropa Yitsipe tsole drova drovarsho Jampe pavo chitara kimpa Dangutu zampo deyan deshinte Teta kungi Jesu dalu Chigi vadida tamje rabdu Dusun shipe kya vatab jegi Muvagan la chotu napadi Tagi kive tsawadi kunchan zambo chuje rabdu mubareki Kewa kunto yanda lamadan Rami chiki pela no jujin Sada namji yunten rabdu Toje changi gofan yu to sho Sange kusun ye bejin labdan Chini minjuru de bejin labdan Gitu bije de bejin lagi Jitarangwa mon la drupa resho Paten tsawe lama rinpoche Dagi chivo pe me dreju Kadrin chenpe kune jizun te kusun te gengo dru tsaldu Se paten lame nampara tharpala Keche tsamya lokta mikeji Chize le para tumbe mugi ke Lame jin semla ju paresho Lama kukam zana sovade Judu kutse rila sovade Tene tashi gela sovade Lama dandra var me pare jingelo Chasel vadan jejin shabadan Jesu yiran kushin sewayi Kewa junse tagi chisapa Tamche zope jancho je mo Janchu simchu rinpoche ma ke pa nam ke juruche ke pa nyam pa me pa yang go ne gondu ve varisho tu nye ta va rinpoche ma ke pa nam ke juruche ke pa nyam pa me pa yang go ne gondu ve varisho nye ta va rinpoche ma ke pa nam ke juruche ke pa nyam pa me pa yang go ne gondu ve varisho chu pa ze me rinpoche ma ke pa nam ke juruche Kepa nyampa mepa yango ne gondo pewaisho. We dedicate this marriage to all beings that will be liberated from the ocean of birth, old age, sickness, and death. We dedicate it to all our kind mother sentient beings' liberation, and also to the long life and good health of our teachers, that is gratitude, and never to look at our teachers with any kind of negative view, that is also gratitude. And whatever dedications that we did in Tibetan is an expression of gratitude to our teachers and also to our kind mother sentient beings. If you really understand dedications, you will understand that we have gratitude towards the Devas, the Nagas, every being. It's just a different language. We don't use Pali here, but the idea is the same. So it's a heart of gratitude. So understand that dedication of merits is first and foremost gratitude for the teachings, not from have to the have-nots, but to those who have already benefited us, we are giving back to them. We are repaying their kindness. That is dedication of merits. Not you are greater than somebody else and you give some handouts, to others. That is not dedication of merits. Dedication of merits is truly an expression of gratitude. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sabbe Sattva Bhavantu Sukhitata. Shukrana.
All beings and teachers, sentient beings.